Well,
3.
Chiefs fans, somebody give Sean McDermott CPR because the Bills found a way to choke away another AFC title. It wasn't pretty, but a win is a win, and the wind is the wind. Tyler Bass, 44 yards is enough to make a grown man bawl his eyes out. That or he was upset that he shoveled snow for 8 hours just to watch his team lose. Bills Mafia, was it worth all the folding white tables, smashed beer cans, and trash talk? Josh Allen, CJ Stroud has a place for you on the beach in Cancun. And legend says that Stephon Diggs is still standing on the 50-yard line at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium watching the Chiefs celebrate another trip to the AFC Championship game. We are the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast, and for the sixth consecutive year, we stand at the doorstep of Lombardi and one game away from his trophy. I'm Chico Noise, and alongside me, as always, the Emperor, Golden J, and the Chief, Phil Jordan.
Nice intro.
Yeah, I like it. I
Damn.
thought you were gonna say Tyler Ass instead of Bass, but I'm sure the Buffalo fans are already calling him that, so I won't even go down that road. But you know,
Feel bad
as
for the guy.
well, the coach McDermott put it the right way. He said we should have never been in that position. So, but he's at his home stadium. To miss it by that much. I mean, I know there was wind. Both kickers knew that. Even to go earlier in the game, we could have been 2 scores up if it weren't for some dumbassing coaching decision on our side to give some jackass the ball instead of Pacheco right up the middle for a yard and a half. Come on. The guy's a bulldozer. Don't get cute. Fucking give him the ball. But it is what it is. We give it to a guy that touches the ball once a game or twice a game. So put all our faith in that guy. Yeah, that's a smart move. Thank God we won, or I would have been bitching about that play the entire offseason. So
I
we
wish I
we
could
almost
say,
found we almost found a way to lose, is what I'm saying, multiple times. So
I wish I could say it was Hardman's fault, but I mean, I don't know that the way he was twisting around and it was just the ball was open to anybody who wanted to punch it out of there. And
yeah.
unfortunately, fumbled through the end zone, which to me is just one of those rules that it makes sense, but you just,
Whether that happened to Kelsey, I think it was 2 years ago.
yeah,
Or
Lamar kicked the ball through the end zone a couple weeks ago. Or I don't know if you guys saw that, but it
no,
got fumbled in the end zone, so he kicked it back through the end and gave them the ball anyways, I guess. But yeah,
it's
so
better than a touchdown for the
Right.
other team. Right?
Right.
yeah,
So
And that's why he did it. Yeah, he'd rather take the safety and the 2 points than have them recover in the end zone for 7. So I mean, or 6, I'm sorry, but yeah. Uh I just have one thing to say about Tyler Bass. In the early part of December, me and Chico made a road trip out to Kansas City to watch the Chiefs and the Bills play in Arrowhead. And we were fortunate enough to have other fans around us from Buffalo that were really cool. I mean, I'll never say the Buffalo fans don't travel well. When they come to Arrowhead, they're very respectful. We always have a good time with them. This girl sitting in front of us, full dressed out, Buffalo head to toe, wearing her Kelly jersey. Her boyfriend was a Detroit Lions fan, totally dressed out in Detroit Lions gear. And it come down to Tyler Bass kicking, and I made a comment to her. I said, "Well, he could miss," and she looked at me and said, "No, Bass is clutch."
mm.
And she is the first person I thought of when he missed the fucking field goal. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I guess he's not as clutch as you thought he was. So,
On a bright note, my prediction was right when we were picking. I think I picked 2 losses on the season, right? And I said we'd lose against the Bills in the regular season, but beat them in the playoffs, like
right.
always. So, I mean, the score should have been a lot more, just based on errors on our side, but it should have been a 2-score game where that field goal, or they might have went for it on 4th down and we could have just ended the game without a field goal. But
Field goal
I
made it way
still
more
think
exciting.
so. I like the guy. I'm 99% sure it was recreated where he put the fan next to the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they all jumped up and down. So to me, it looks recreated, but it was still funnier than shit. Um,
Yep.
but good humor, man, good humor. And like I said, when I looked at over the cap, the Bills, I don't know what they're going to do next year. This, in my opinion, was their year to try to, get to the Super Bowl. They're going to have to let go of some high price free agents, or, soon to be free agents, or trade people off, whatever. Like we had to, we had to get rid of the Cheetah. We lost, a couple of DBs, what I mean? Some wide receivers. So they're going to have the same thing happen to them, and they're going to have to recover if they want to be a playoff team again next year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was listening today to Arrowhead Addict, and they were Verderam was talking about that. I mean, he dialed it up, man. He talked about every player who is either going to be a free agent or what their salary cap, what their salary is going to be for next year. I think Josh Allen's his has been building. It's just now they're to the point now where
Yeah.
they have to make the pay because, they've kind of restructured and the way they set it up. And I do believe he's at like what 81 million he's due this year.
Wow.
And they're not gonna, I mean, they're gonna pay that. They're gonna have to figure out other ways to get rid of money because they're not going to let Josh go because I mean he is that franchise at this point. So
Well, yeah. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, against us on this game, right?
2 rushing
no,
touchdowns.
just
Yeah.
one. No,
Yeah,
I got just
two
one.
rushing.
Oh, two rushing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not passing. Sorry.
Yeah,
Meaning
sorry. I'm looking at passing.
he's their offense. I mean, period.
Yeah. Well, they brought in James Cook. James Cook had a relatively decent day running. I mean, it was only 3.5 yards per carry, but I mean, it just
Right.
seemed like the beginning of that game was just they would just ran. I mean,
Yeah.
Allen 12 carries for 72 yards, Cook 18 carries for 61 yards. It just seems like they just kept running through our defense. And in Kansas City fashion, they made the adjustments at halftime and figured out how to shut that down. And, the rest is history.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Josh is taking a buttload of money. I just pulled up over the cap. So,
Is it at 81 or I'm off on my figures?
guaranteed salary is 30 million basically. Bonus is 17 million. Regular is 6 million. So 47 million
Okay.
is what he has for 2024. Then Stephon Diggs is 27 million, Von Miller 23 million. Deion Watkins is 16. Tre'Davious White is 16. Dawson Knox 14. I mean, they got some pretty high numbers here, man.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're gonna.
Yeah,
I would not
they're
be surprised.
43 million over.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Stephon Diggs is actually there next year.
Yeah.
I imagine that's probably going to be one of their releases and I mean he can get a job anywhere. I mean
Yeah.
he's a good
Oh,
receiver.
snap. I was wrong. It says effective cap space. I don't know what the difference is, but it's 52 million.
I know it was a
Wow.
lot. It's a lot. They're in
Wow.
trouble. So you can look at it in two different ways. You can look at it this way: the window for their Super Bowl
Mhm.
run has just slammed shut.
Yeah, they got to do what we did. You got to get rid of some of your best players and try to punch it back in. We did. I don't know if they can, but we'll see.
Or you can do what a good football team is and restructure and get him some talent that's a lot cheaper and is, talented. And, like you said, that's what we did. We lost Tyreek. We replaced
Yep.
him with, 4 receivers that took up what his salary would have been and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Um,
and yeah, I mean, it all depends on what they do in the off season, but that's a lot of talent.
it is a
I
lot of
tell
talent.
So for the everyone that was in the playoffs, were the Saints in the playoffs? I forget, or they get eliminated. They got eliminated, I think,
Yeah, they
right?
weren't in the play. They were not in the playoffs.
Oh, they got 87 million deficit. Um, Miami has 58 million, Chargers 55 million, Bills 52, Broncos 27, Cowboys 22, Browns 20, Steelers 20, Seahawks 10, 49ers 11 million, and Packers. And a majority of those teams in the red were playoff teams.
Right.
So, wow. Freaking New Orleans. It was like a 7-8 team this year. Whatever their record was, is 80 million in the hole. Wow.
Well,
That's amazing.
just goes to show sometimes you can't buy a Super Bowl, not like the Rams did, when they won it a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Well,
that was a bought and sold team right there to get them that Super Bowl win. So,
yeah, Dallas tried that, what, about 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. They had all those superstars on there and just went to shit. I don't even think they made the playoffs.
and Cleveland did the same thing. They went out and bought a bunch of players, but didn't make a run for it. So,
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. That was a damn good game, regardless if you're a Chiefs fan or a Bills fan.
oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
I mean, obviously, we came out on top, rightfully so. We made the better plays. We were the better team. So it's not like we won by accident. So, I still think if he made that field goal, we would have had a minute and 40 seconds, give or take, I think. I'm 99% sure we would have went down and scored. So, you don't know, but with a minute and 40 with Mahomes and the way that their linebackers were covering our folks and they couldn't stop our run for the most part either. So I'm pretty sure we would have scored. I would bet your house on it, Jeremy.
I'd like to know
Okay.
what Sean McDermott said in halftime when they went in, like what we needed to change and all that, because they definitely didn't run the ball as much in the second half, and that was, I think, what killed them, because we weren't necessarily stopping the run at the end of the first half, and that second half they hardly ran at all. So,
Yeah. And how about the accidental or called fake punt, and they give it
oh,
to
yeah.
what the hell is it? Hamlin, right?
Yeah, DeMar.
Yeah. And I was like, of all the people to give the ball to, but thank God we stopped it. We were prepared for it. You know,
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
we didn't
obviously,
we didn't do anything with it.
that's not. I was just gonna say that we
Yeah,
we went down and fumbled the ball into the end zone, but whatever. Still on your own 30-ish yard line early in the game. I mean, that's way too aggressive. Granted, we only had 10 players on the field, but they're all at the line of scrimmage,
right.
right? I mean, it's not like we're in a formation, expecting a run or a pass. We're all at the line of scrimmage, and thank God for our special teams coaching that, hey, watch for the fake punt. But I would have, I haven't seen a coach do that unless it's late in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Yeah, it was
And
random.
it was just, yeah, exactly. And they said they did it because we had 10 men on the field. So,
Hey,
or
go big or
McDermott.
go home. I mean, this is what it's about. You make a run for it. And sometimes you gotta throw in one of those. This unfortunately for them did not work. Fortunately for us, it did not work. So, I mean, um, I'm all about, trying to make something happen and,
But that
but
early on your own 30, I would, I don't, nah, wouldn't have done it.
I personally probably wouldn't have done it that early, but sometimes you got to throw it out there so you can throw off the other team and look, if it had worked, it'd have been one of the greatest things they ever did. It didn't
Right,
work, and
right.
now it's the dumbest thing they've ever did. But
True
you know,
that.
that's not the only um bad thing that happened to the Bills. I mean, how many passes did Josh Allen throw that were in the dirt or
Oh,
weren't on target? I mean, I'm not dissing on Josh Allen by any means, but
How about the ones that were on target and they weren't caught? Those are the ones
there
that
was
hurt the most. I
there was a
mean,
couple of those, yeah, for sure.
deep
I mean,
ones.
he went 26 for 39 for 186 yards.
Nothing over 20 yards, by the way.
Nothing. Yep. Yeah, he did
And
not throw it downfield. And how do you not throw it downfield with Stephon Diggs?
well, he
But
did, but it went
McDuffie.
right through his hands.
that's true.
I mean,
I
I think
forgot
that
about
was
that.
about a 30-yard pass, I think, give or take. And I mean, it literally through his arms. I mean, we had the coverage, but our guy jumped too soon, so he should have caught it.
Right.
So whatever. I'm glad he didn't. Trust me. But I
Those are,
think he wants out now at this point.
yeah. The other big one is that how many injuries they have and had.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
talking about all the linebackers that were out and the linemen, and then during the game there were 3 or 4 injuries that were
I
guys.
mean, hell, to leave Kelsey just wide the fuck open. I mean, literally
In the end zone.
nobody around him. I mean, I was like, I watched when they replayed the play, they had 3 receivers there and just 2 of them went with one guy, and the other one with the other. And Kelsey's like, I'm right here, my homie. So I was flabbergasted, and then he did the heart up to his little girlfriend, as his touchdown celebration.
I was gonna put something in the intro about that, and I didn't.
Look at my heart. But hey, since we're talking about that, how about his brother just being a beast from tailgating all the way into the game? I mean, taking a shot out of the bowling ball from a Bills fan. He had a great time, man. I guarantee you, I don't know how long he spent in the parking lot, but I guarantee you he spent quite a bit of time being a owner's box or whatever you want to call it, shirt off, just having a good time. And even when they did a shot of Taylor, you could just see him in the background just chugging, It's not like he just did a couple beers. No, the guy was party animal. I loved it. I mean, totally loved it.
Well,
Even
I
if
would say if Funko Pop does not put out the shirtless Jason Kelsey pop, that is an opportunity missed, and I would buy one immediately. I would definitely own one of those.
oh yeah, 100%. And he was a class act too, as we talked about. There's videos circulating around that, he took the time to take pictures with some of the kids. I believe that sign that he made Taylor Swift look at it, and
Right.
she said something. I don't remember what she said, but he was a class act until then he just smashed a beer can on his head or shoulder or something after that.
He was a part of the Bills Mafia for the night.
Well, he definitely was in the parking lot. I mean,
Yep.
class act, man. And just like fans that come to Arrowhead, they say, we're a class act organization. Every fan that I've interacted with for the most part or heard on the radio says go into Arrowhead, they have a good time. So kudos to Jason for having a great time.
Well, I mean, why not? You're out there with the family, and mom and dad are there. You're rooting on your brother. You got a nice box to stay warm in. Why not get shirtless and just howl it out at the
Need to
moon?
cool off, just open the window, jump out, and walk through the crowd.
Yeah. And the question is, so now I have a better question. I always said I'd prefer to party with Kelsey versus Jason. Now I don't know. Now I'm tossed on which one would be the bigger party animal at this point. I'm thinking Jason might be over Kelsey. I don't know.
I think Jason probably just let loose for the one night. I would imagine that Travis is like that all the time.
Did you see the thing where the they were showing his daughter watching the game, and they're like, "What do you think?" And she goes, "Dad's boobs are on TV."
I didn't see that one
I
yet.
didn't see that either.
That's priceless. I like it.
Um,
But every single touchdown, they immediately scanned, right up to Taylor Swift and company. I'm like, just stop it already.
oh, I got text messages on that. It's like, there's Taylor again. This is bullshit.
From
this
who?
this was a Raiders fan that was texting me. Yeah,
Oh,
I saw him today, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, he goes, man, I hate the Chiefs and all this bullshit. I said, listen, I said, this is not the Chiefs organization that is pointing the camera up there. This is the NFL trying to make money off of the fact that Taylor Swift
Yep.
is at these games. They're trying to get the Swifties to be a part of the NFL and spend their money on gear and all that shit. So
Yeah.
this is not a Chiefs thing to hate. This is an NFL thing. He goes, I fucking hate the NFL. That's why I'm a Raiders fan. Okay, that
So
makes sense.
so it's interesting, right? You know, the halftime show is gonna be oh crap, I just lost his name.
Usher.
Usher, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really amazed that some way, somehow, Taylor didn't get some gig for the Super Bowl, for the AFC Championship, you know, something. I'm honestly amazed. I figured if the Chiefs made it far enough along, or even if they didn't, since she's getting so much NFL attention, that they would have brokered some kind of deal with her. But I'm amazed. I just thought it was going to happen.
Well, we're not there yet. I mean, this if let's say the Chiefs make it into the Super Bowl and, what if they come up to what if Usher calls her up and says, "Hey, you want to come do a guest spot and come up and do a song or two?" I mean,
I
that is
guess I
still
guess that's possible.
I mean, I'm sure that he's been working on his show for months, since they signed it all up, but you just never know. I mean, that might be something if Kansas City gets in and we get past the Ravens, which I think we can do this. I think that this Bills game was
Yeah.
a nice warm up for preparation towards going to Baltimore. So I believe that they can do it if they just keep the motion that they're in right now. The way that they played against the Dolphins, now the way they played against
Yep.
the Bills, clean up a couple little things and just kind of go from there. But
So the key to this game to me, obviously, is the defense, more than the offense. Keeping Lamar contained.
right,
That's the biggest threat.
he said fucking Lamar, and I was like, no, it's Clark.
Hey, this fucking time
Lamar.
I'm right, damn it.
You
Um,
were, you were.
I that's the key to the game. I don't care what else happens. You know, give up a deep ball here and there, whatever. Keep Lamar in the box. Keep a
Absolutely.
keep a spy on him. Keep two spies on him. I don't care. He's their best player. He's their almost their entire offense in some games. Other games, he's a drop back passer and hand the ball off. It all depends on, how the game's going. So
Right.
they are beatable. They have lost.
Oh
They
yeah.
didn't go undefeated. So I that's just my key to the game is our defense keeping him contained.
Yep. I agree with you.
Let him have a few yards. That's fine. Whatever. Just like I mean, Josh Allen, I don't know what his rushing yards was, but probably like 70, give or take.
72. Yep.
Yeah, I was just guessing. Because I bet on him in the on my parlay to be over 64.
Right on.
But yeah, I mean, we gave up some yards to him, but we shut him down eventually.
Yeah.
That's my whole key to this game is him. Just like the whole key, I think, on Baltimore's side is getting to Mahomes.
Right. Right.
It
Yeah. Yeah. Interrupt although Mahomes is just as good outside of the pocket as he is in the pocket. So
Yeah, I'm
get
just
him.
saying if they can get to him a few times, get a sack or two, that's what they're after. I
Right.
think disrupt Mahomes, but like you said, if he gets outside of the pocket, I mean, he had a 22-yard run, I believe, on against the Bills. He didn't get 24, but he made it up later. I think he got 26 and a half yards or something, rushing Mahomes or 27.
19.
20, I'm trying to remember.
He only had 6 carries for 19 yards.
Okay, I was off by a little bit, but that one scramble that he had was pretty damn good, down the sideline.
But his long was 24.
Yeah.
Then
Oh, he must have lost some yards and some of that stuff then. Is that
Yeah,
why? Okay.
because he screwed me in my parlay. I had 24.5 yards. And, but yeah, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he did, pretty decent. He had 2 good runs, giving Pacheco a break. But man, Pacheco, when he got that rushing touchdown, I mean, looked like they were gonna knock him backwards, but he just powered through it, man. Like He
He
came up
said,
from the bottom.
no fucking way, man.
Yeah, yeah. So
They stood him up and he pushed through.
Yep.
yeah, I mean, that was a great play. They actually had Pacheco on Good Morning Football as one of the finalists for their little, stick, whatever you want to call it, the the best meanest player of the day or something like that.
Nice.
So,
Man. Which
Sneed got
reminds
it
me,
last week.
you can go to goldenmojoent.com, click on the shop, and you can get your Indiana Chiefs fan t-shirt that says "Run Angry."
That's pretty cool.
Get your Run Angry t-shirt today.
And it's got a stick figure of Jeremy that looks like he's pregnant, though. Kind of bows in the middle.
I'm a fat guy.
Fat.
I could have held my big ass belly out right next to Jason Kelsey, and we'd have been twins.
You're such a nut. So I don't know. I walked away happy over the weekend,
Absolutely.
obviously. So,
Absolutely.
I'm very optimistic about the game Sunday. I think we will win regardless. Even if we don't, the game is not going to be a blowout. The
Right.
game's going to be close. I don't see a way that it's going to be a blowout. So, I mean, they have I don't know their exact rankings, but Baltimore has a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense. So whereas we have the number 2 defense and mediocre offense that's picking it up in the playoffs. So, you know, I really I have faith, that my team's going to dominate. Our team's going to win. It's not going to be easy by any stretch.
Oh, absolutely not. But once again, something else to hang your hat on is now we can put to rest all of this bullshit that Patrick Mahomes can't win on the road in the playoffs. Are we done talking about what
Hey,
Patrick Mahomes can and cannot do?
did you hear what Mahomes had to say about that, by the way?
No, I did not.
He says, I won 2 Super Bowls. Those are away games.
That's a good point.
So I thought it was pretty good. He's like, I have won, 2 playoff games away.
It's
I
true.
thought it was pretty funny.
That's true.
And
I read one today where it was a Buffalo fan and a Kansas City fan going back and forth, and the Buffalo fan is like, Patrick Mahomes is not the GOAT. Josh Allen is so much better. Just look at this and look at that.
oh yeah,
And then
dude, I saw
somebody
that
brought up
shit.
a picture of Mahomes holding 2 Super Bowl trophies and go, Allen ain't got one of those now, does he?
Oh man, there was so much of that going off on the I think NFL is Life page that I joined recently.
Uh-huh.
That's just a generic, NFL fan page, and oh my god, the shit that they were saying about the Chiefs and Mahomes and all that. I wanted to reply, but I was like, you know what? I've been drinking. Let me just let this be.
And just let
Um,
it go.
and I just read the comments, and the Bills fans are just so upset that they can't contain themselves. I mean, they're bringing up shit that doesn't even make sense. I mean, they're like, I was like, you guys lost. And they're, again, like you just said, exactly what was on that forum. They said Josh Allen is a better quarterback. I'm like, he might be, but he ain't getting to the Super Bowl.
No,
Statistically this year, Josh Allen was much better than Mahomes, but it's not a one person sport.
right.
It's a team sport. So the defense carried us multiple games, where the offense was just horrific. We talked about it. But you know what? When the playoffs start, everyone's 0-0. It's a
Good
new
point.
era,
Yep.
and the team's showing up. Every analyst except for I think one or two picked the Bills to win easily. Easily. So again, analysts are, they have anal and analysts. So, you know, um, so anyway, I just, and the same thing's happening now with the Baltimore game. They're already piling on the Ravens. So And then I've also heard a rumor that there was a Super Bowl commercial or ad already circulating around of San Francisco and Ravens. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't see that, but I
I
haven't seen it.
I just seen like screenshots or whatever where I think it's like a Lay's commercial or something shit like that where the confetti comes shooting out and it's like purple and gold or whatever. It's the Ravens and San Francisco colored confetti.
Hmm.
Take it for what it is. I mean, um, if you go and look, I was just recording a Golden 80s podcast a little bit ago, and we were talking about the draft and in between shows, and I brought up the draft. I brought up the draft line. Well, who's picking where? Because we were, curious of where Indianapolis was picking, which, by the way, they're picking number 15. But if you scroll down to the bottom, because I made a comment that was like, well, they shouldn't. You can only go so far because you don't know. You still got four teams left. How are they going to order
Yeah.
out in the final draft? It has Baltimore and San Francisco as the final two picks in the 2024 draft.
Yeah, that's constantly scrolling. That's just based on projections at this point.
Right on.
So,
But
that can
but once
change.
again, it's just another thing to look at and go, okay, well, there you have that. But
Yeah.
Well,
That's normal though.
think about it this way. Lay's has to have that commercial finished now.
that's
So
true.
they have to have multiple commercials
Versions.
that they're going to have
Yeah.
to put in there,
That
especially
is
if
a
they're
damn
putting
good.
the
That is a
winner.
damn good point, dude. I never
So
even thought about that.
somebody could have seen and that's with everything. I mean, that's
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting either way, but there's conspiracy theorists, like when I lose my parlays, I say Vegas made the call, right?
Right.
Um, there's all kinds of people out there saying NFL scripted, some days I think back and I'm like, I think that motherfucker is scripted, but you know what? Being a true fan, I don't see it.
There's too many working pieces to script something like that, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's too many. I
yeah.
mean, if it was truly scripted, somebody would have already spilled the beans on that bad boy. So
Yep. All right, here we go.
here we go. Look at that Golden J. Look at that
I
Golden J
know.
taking the final score. Son of a
Off by
bitch.
one. Off by one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
cheers to
damn
me.
good.
Yep.
Cheers.
Divisional round, Chiefs versus Bills
Golden
in
J.
Buffalo. Final score 27-24 Chiefs. It's a nice windy kick by Tyler Bass for the for the loss. Golden J took that one 28-24. Right
And
on the money.
point it,
We
Gunner.
were all pretty close, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were. I mean, you knew this was going to be a close game. Like you said with Baltimore,
yeah.
it's going to be a close game. There's no doubt. No
Yep.
doubt. Mahomes went 17 for 23, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Once again, no sacks, no pressures.
Golden
So
J.
Yeah.
that line is killing it.
Yeah, they are.
215 yards. Golden J took that one with 280. We all were pretty far over on that one. Did have 2 touchdowns, so Golden J and Chief both took a point there. Travis Kelce, total yards, he had 75. I took that one with 71. And he had a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns. We all guessed one, except for Coach.
Damn you, coach.
Yeah, Pacheco and Allaire, 97 and 31. Coach took both of those, 99 and 31.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah. And then total touchdowns was 1 for Pacheco, none for Allaire. And we kind of split up points there. Chief and I both took 2 points on that one. Coach and Golden J took 1. Most yards.
Oh, fuck me.
I couldn't have guessed that one.
Did you look at who had the most fucking receiving yards? Do you know?
MVS.
Oh,
Out of nowhere.
Yep.
Which, by the way, you spelled receivers wrong.
Yeah, I did. Look at that, I fixed it. That's been spelled wrong this entire time.
Has it really?
Yeah. I just copy and pasted it. So
Oh, that's too funny. No, I would have never picked MBS.
no.
Nope.
I've been hardcore on MBS. I'm still not a fan, but great game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was 2 for 62 with a long of 32 on 4 targets.
Which was that catch that he made on that long one? It was a badass catch.
Yeah,
Oh
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. So that was the longest pass play at 32 yards. I had 37. Everybody else was over. Defense, interception, sacks, zeros.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, that
that's
hurts.
We
crazy,
all
isn't
we
it?
all took a point at some point on that. Whether we had one interception or coach had 2 sacks, we all had quite a few sacks.
No points.
Most sacks, 0, so nobody gets a point on sacks. We all had a little bit of everything. Butker, will he miss? He did not miss. And Taylor was there with Jason Kelsey. Good call on that one, coach.
Yep.
And who
That's
will we
awesome.
play next week? We all wanted the Texans
Yep.
at home. And we are taking the Ravens away. Totals for the
All
week
good.
9, 7, 8, 6. Golden Jays in the lead 27, 19, 17. Chief,
Uh,
you gotta score out the entire thing.
It's all
Come
good.
back.
the coach has already been on here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I see
looks
that.
like it. Look at him go.
Look at him go. All right. So I'm going to go with the same score. I'm going to go 27-24 Kansas City. I think it's going to be tight. I think defenses are going to get stout.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 27-17.
Oh.
I'm not gonna make it as tight as you guys are.
25, 28,
5
20,
points.
28,
One field
21,
goal, one safety.
There you go.
28, 21. Mahomes.
213.
269.
I'm gonna go 301.
All right.
Touchdowns.
2.
These are passing touchdowns.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. 2.
Just to do it.
Just to go there.
Just to go 3, I'm going 3. Travis Kelsey total yards.
87.
I like it.
78.
I'm gonna go 64.
You dyslexic bastard.
Touchdowns.
Oh, I'm just gonna stick with 1.
Uno más.
I'll go. He's gonna get another 2.
Right on.
2 for Checo and Allaire.
Man, I think Pacheco is going to have. I'm gonna stick with 100. I think Allaire is gonna have 38. I think they're gonna lean heavy on the run this game.
1-on-1. And
39.
yeah, 39. Why not?
What a dick. What a dick.
I'm gonna say
Go 102.
75 and 28. Touchdowns.
Yes. I'm gonna go Pacheco. I'm just gonna go 1-0. I don't think Allaire will have a touchdown.
I agree.
1-0.
I'm gonna third that. Look, see, I told you I copy and paste it.
I think.
Who will
I'm
have the most yards?
I'm gonna go back to Rice. You stick with the proven winner.
Rice Aroni.
He's a San Francisco treat.
He will be when we play him in the Super Bowl.
Oh man, Chico's
Rice,
thinking about it.
Rice,
He's
Rice,
thinking about
I'm
it.
gonna put MVS. I'm gonna put MVS. Maybe
All right.
maybe Mahomes is feeling it. I don't know. Longest pass play.
38.
51.
Wow, 51. 34 interceptions, sacks. Oh wow. Wow, coach. 4 sacks.
I don't
That's high.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna go 1-1.
1/3.
I'm gonna go one other 1 and 2.
Half.
1/2. Most sacks.
I think Jones is gonna get double teamed. I think it's gonna open the door for Karlaftis. I think he's gonna have the only sack of the game.
I'm gonna stick with Jones.
I'm gonna go back to Omenihu because
That's not a bad guess, man. Will Butker miss this game? No.
No. Dude, I was gonna come through the screen and beat you.
he's not gonna miss.
Jesus, he thinks Jason's gonna be there again? I think she'll be there. I think she'll come to the
I'm
game.
gonna agree with Coach. Yes, with Jason. He has nothing to do but party right now, man.
Uh,
Yep. When the Chiefs win, who will they play in the Super Bowl?
49ers. That's me, sorry.
you know what? This is the Super Bowl I want. Chiefs, Lions. We started the season with the Lions. We're gonna finish the season with the Lions.
All right. There's my
That's
chance to
that's
make 1 point.
that's the Super Bowl I want.
I just don't want to play the Niners again. I
I
think
know.
I think I might have called that at the beginning of the season that well, you know what? It's on here.
Oh, I 100% said the Niners at the beginning of the year.
Let's see. Yep, Niners. So we had Niners, Philly, Niners, and we all just picked the Lions.
Well, I mean, if we
And I'm the only one that didn't pick the 49ers, and I just picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
there you go. Look at that. And you took Philly
And you said
Yeah.
Chiefs says 49ers knocked out divisional round equals 1
for
point.
1 point.
Yeah. Well, I lost that point.
It'd be interesting to go back and look at all this at the
All
end of the
right.
season here. So yeah, there we go.
Booyah.
Ah, what an amazing game. I'm looking forward to the game this weekend. I think it's going to be another uh, uh, man, 5 lead changes in that Buffalo game. I think this is going to be another weekend of that. I truly believe it. I think it's going to be back and forth, and pretty much the last 2 minutes is going to determine the game.
I
So
think it'll be determined earlier.
you think so?
Yeah. If we can contain Lamar, it makes it much simpler. I have faith in our defensive backs, covering those receivers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have no.
And if we can cover the receivers, that makes Lamar the team.
Clark. It's Clark.
Buggers.
The thing with these guys is that there's so much of Lamar on his feet running.
Mhm.
That's all it really is, and that's the same way Josh Allen was the last couple weeks. So I think we're prepped and prepared for a quarterback that's going to be moving, and I think that
Yeah, we just had the practice game against Buffalo to get ready for
yeah,
Baltimore.
exactly. So I think we're ready for it. And I mean, if you look at Jackson's stats for the year compared to Mahomes, um he's a little better on the interception side, but that's because he doesn't throw the ball that much. So he's 307 for 457, 3,678 yards, and Mahomes 401 for 597 for 4183.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
And again, he is facing the number 2 defense.
yep.
So, granted, we're worse at the run, awesome at the pass, but we're picking it up a little bit. So,
You can
Well,
buy
Lamar.
tickets for as low as
Lamar only went
566.
five what?
$566.
Oh. Lamar went 16 for 22 for 152 yards passing against Houston,
Mhm.
which I mean that's nothing. I
And how
mean,
many rush
honestly,
yards did he have?
he had 11 carries for 100 yards. So
And
he
2 touchdowns.
averages nine, yeah, and two touchdowns. He's averaging 9.1 every time he decides to run. His longest was 23.
Okay.
His next closest guy carried it 13 times for 66 yards. So I mean, he is the running game for that team, which we all
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So I mean, I agree with you. We need to contain. He needs to be contained. And is Willie Gay going to be back? I mean, I don't. It doesn't overly concern me. It's nice to have him there. Drew Tranquil has done an amazing fucking job coming in this year
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
taking over that spot. So I mean, we have a nice deep linebacking core. They just need to spy him. They need to keep an eye on him 100% of the time and not
Yep.
send these guys into the pile and then watch the quarterback go running through the hole that's on the left.
Yep. Totally agree. I mean, I already
So,
said it too. Stop him, they lose. If we
Make your
don't stop
tackles.
them, if we don't stop them, they win. I mean, it's simple. That's has to be the game plan.
Wrap them up. I think that's the biggest thing too, is that we miss a lot of
yeah.
we don't wrap those quarterbacks up, and that's
Or running
partially
backs.
partially or running backs, but partially because what's going to happen if you wrap up a quarterback and drive him into the ground off on the sideline, you're going to get penalized, and I feel like it's still a lot of that you know, give hugs and kisses kind of thing.
Yeah. Who's our
Don't
backup?
don't
Who's
smear them.
Baltimore's backup quarterback?
I don't know. Do they have one?
I don't know. I was just curious.
I honestly don't know.
Neither do I. Who's our backup quarterback?
Blaine Gabbert.
Gabbert. Yeah.
Tyler Huntley.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I knew that. I knew that. Huntley was he's the wannabe Lamar Jackson quarterback that thinks he can outstretch his arm and break the touchdown plane, and that's how they lost last year, I think, in the playoffs, as he went to reach over and it got knocked out before it
Oh,
crossed
that's right.
the
And
line.
they reviewed that play. I remember
Yeah.
that now.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I am wearing the conference champion shirt.
Look at that.
So feeling the mojo here to
Manifest it.
hopefully
Manifest it.
hopefully I'll be ordering another one come Sunday night. So
What is
compliments of Jeremy.
I'm sorry, man. My thing is that AFC Championship and Super Bowl, after we win both of those in the next few weeks, I'm just going to wait to buy my Super Bowl t-shirts because Rally House will have them on clearance,
Yeah.
and I will not pay as much for them this next time around.
I
Yeah, but
have to
it's nice
get
to wear them.
I have to get my Super Bowl jersey because those do sell out.
Oh, I understand that for sure.
So I have one from each Super Bowl so far. So, however, I'm changing it up this year.
Okay.
It will not be a number 15. It will be a number 87.
There you go.
So
There you go. What I'm looking at Harrison.
butt kickers.
The butt kicker. What is his stat for the year? How many to how many?
I think he only missed 2 the entire season.
I was thinking it was only 2.
Yeah, only 2 games back to back. And made
Yeah, it was
every
back to back.
yeah, and made every extra point.
Let's see.
And guess what? He did not go to the Pro Bowl. He was the best kicker in the league.
2023.
There's a lot of
33 for 35.
Yep.
137 points.
Talk about a major snub. The best kicker in the NFL didn't go to the Pro Bowl.
How about Snead not getting to the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, no one threw a touchdown pass on him until this weekend.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Hey, fly under the radar and keep playing well, boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both field goals Butker missed were both under 40 yards.
Yeah.
And he was perfect, 50 plus, 40 plus.
Yep. The one was in that windy game,
Yeah.
and the other
Yeah.
one was just miscue, I think.
Yeah.
The one was because the fucking ball wasn't inflated properly.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Fucking New England. They gave us the balls.
The
Couldn't have been
problem is
Belichick.
they
He's not there anymore.
there you go. Oh man, I heard he's might end up to be the Atlanta's new head coach.
That's what I'm hearing a lot
Yeah.
of, Atlanta.
Um, yeah, Patriots.
And the enemy, I know he interviewed for the head coaching job with Washington. So
And rightfully so. I mean, he should get that.
Yeah.
That should be his job, period.
yeah, I think
So
he'll get it. this
I
year.
hope so. I hope he does get it. It's well deserved.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Let's wrap this up for the night.
Wow.
Wow, wow.
Chico, take us out of here. How
All
are you
right.
gonna end? How are you gonna end tonight's show?
Um,
From our little slice of
exactly. No, I happy we won. Happy we're going to the AFC Championship game. Happy to be a Chiefs fan as always.
6th consecutive AFC
Six.
Championship game.
Yep.
6.
Oh, we did forget to mention one thing. Sorry, I got to bring it up. I just remembered.
Okay.
Mahomes and Kelsey beat
Oh,
Gronkowski and Tom Brady's record. So the
Playoff.
Which is
records,
16. It was
the
16. They
yeah,
got 17.
Yep. The records are falling. Actually, it was 15, I think, and we got 16. But regardless, the records are starting to fall, people. And, Mahomes still has quite a career to go. So,
Yeah.
I meant to mention that earlier. Sorry.
Good stat. But just remember, Josh Allen's a better quarterback.
Hey, how many touchdowns does he have in the Super Bowl?
I think, hold on, let me look that stat up. Oh, my screen went blank. It must be 0.
Why did my computers get a virus?
Oh my God. We're just so bad.
Listen, man, I feel for the Buffalo fans, especially for
Yeah.
that guy that was crying in the stands.
I had to mention him in the intro too. That's
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I heard that he was really upset because he had mortgaged the house to place a bet on the Bills, and now his kids can't go to college.
That can't be true.
You don't think so?
I don't know, but I got a picture
No,
of that guy.
it's a meme. It was a meme, dude. It's all good.
I took a picture of that guy. I paused the TV.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody cry that hard on national television.
He's like,
oh, yeah.
All right.
All right, here's
us
to
home,
you.
Gunner.
Here's to you, Bills Mafia. See you next year. We do play you in the regular season again. So,
This time in Buffalo.
yep. So, from our little slice of Chiefs Kingdom right here in the great state of Indiana, I only got one thing to say. How about those?
Chiefs.
And cheeseburgers.
Later.
Thank you
Hasta
for
la
listening to
vista,
the Indiana
baby.
Chiefs Fans Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Podbean, any of your favorite podcast sites. Be sure to watch us on YouTube. Just search for the Indiana Chiefs Fans Podcast. Also, check us out on Facebook for any updates on the Chiefs and all of our weekly posts. You can find us at facebook.com/INChiefsFansPod. Finally, go check out our Golden Mojo Entertainment website at goldenmojoent.com. You can find information about your 3 favorite hosts and all the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment family. Those podcasts include The Call Guys, Golden Image Podcast, The United States of Paranormal, The Golden 80s Podcast, The Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze. Thank you for tuning in, and how about those Chiefs?